Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Aaron Herman. During this pandemic, it's important to protect you and your family, and the CDC recommends you wear a face mask when you're out in the supermarket or you're going to be surrounded by individuals. An Israeli company called Sonovia created these SonoMasks to protect you from the aerosols that are out there in the ether, and we're going to learn more about this incredible mask and the technology behind it. Let's take a closer look. We are in a pandemic now, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand the importance of wearing a mask and being able to cover your face in a really important way to decreasing the spread of COVID-19. And your company is doing something very interesting in terms of tech and a mask. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your company.
Yeah, of course. So my name is Dr. Jason Mcdonnell. I am a microbiological researcher at Sonovia. Sonovia was founded in Israel. It's based on Israeli engineering, which was developed at a university called Bar Ilan. This university developed a application for fabrics, which uses sound waves. And the idea being that when a particular frequency of sound wave is acted upon a liquid media containing additives for textile, these are permanently affixed into the fabric and can give long-lasting and durable properties where traditional methods couldn't previously. So when you take a look at the hospital environments and anti-microbial fabrics, we have a formulation for zinc oxide, which becomes permanently embedded into the fibers of the tissue. And in 65 plus industrial washes, this still had the same level of antibacterial and fungal properties. And this was what Sonovia as a whole was developing prior to the pandemic. We were eventually going to be a company which sold machinery and formulation to garment manufacturers to create clothing which would have these kind of germ-resistant properties. But the pandemic came and it changed things for everybody. So we had a large amount of pilot industrial fabric, and our solution for that was to look and see, was this process able to destroy viruses too? And in the literature, there was a lot of evidence that suggested that the zinc oxide, when it's in a nanoparticle form, it releases charges which can disrupt envelopes on viruses. So this was a good foundation to start with. We started to make face masks from the fabric. We donated them to charities in Israel and internationally for non-profits and people who may not be able to always get PPE, because cloth face masks, they are a rising movement, because they are reusable, they're better for the environment when you compare it to disposable non-woven type masks, which can only be used really once as such. So this was the movement that started, and then we submitted tests and applications to provide real validation for the zinc oxide formulations. And we were pleased to announce that the fabric was submitted to an EU authorized lab, and it showed that there was a 99.87% reduction in envelope viruses when it was using a analog of the coronavirus. So this was a virus that had been altered to express similar proteins to the coronavirus, and this really showed that the fabric had an antiviral basis. So we now had claims we can make, and after that, FDA applications are underway. We've already started cleared for non-medical marketing. The next step of the company is to introduce the products of the hospitals as a new category of face masks, so that they can have antiviral fabrics on their face, and actually the filtering ability which will come with the new designs. The most recent thing, which has really been a pinnacle moment for the company, is receiving a preliminary report from China, which says that the fabric actually destroyed over 90% of the actual SARS-CoV-2, the coronavirus, within 2 hours. And bear in mind that already this is an earlier formulation. The chemists here in our technical laboratory, which I can show you in a moment, they have developed the formulations to commercial level since. And we expect now that when we fast track with a European lab, that we'll have 99% or more. And this is the way forward, that we can start to introduce this face mask to people as they go back to work, and then to the hospital and to doctors.
It's amazing. One of the things that, sort of came to me, so I've actually been wearing the mask the last couple of days. And so I went to the beach yesterday, and, even when you're going down the elevator, throughout the United States, there's, the CDC recommends to wear a face mask. So in the elevators, literally when you're about to go on the beach, if you're not, social distancing in an effective manner, if you're less than 6 feet apart, it's really important to wear a mask. But a lot of people even say, just wear your mask as much as you can, because there's still a lot of uncertainty. And your mask is very comfortable. It's breathable, which I think is really important. A lot of these masks that people buy on Amazon and whatever, you actually can't breathe. It's a real issue. And especially now when people, around my neighborhood,
Yes.
A lot of kids are biking with their mask on. And I read, it must have been like 2 weeks ago, there was somebody that was going down the New Jersey Turnpike, and they had their mask on, and somehow they crashed because they couldn't breathe. It was like you couldn't believe this is actually happening, right? This is, everyone's not used to
circumstances.
Yeah, people don't understand that this is like a mask. You have to be conscious of where you're purchasing it from, that it's the right protection, and that it's safe, because wearing a mask for the typical person is not, it's nearly not in your cognizant, so it's like a new lifestyle change. So I found that your mask is very comfortable, and it's fun to one of my friends about how the sort of the technology, based on what we were corresponding.
We will have video simulations of that soon, because we appreciate that when you look at this fabric, it's so unremarkable. You can't see any differences in it. It doesn't smell different. But really, the technology is on a nano level. So when you look at these fibers under electron microscope, you see that they're completely studied with these nanoparticles of zinc, which are constantly producing the charges which have the impact on the viruses that they may come into contact with. But we will have videos on our website, sonoviatech.com, which will show the animation really clearly for the users. So
I've had the pleasure to interview numerous startups, and there's a moment in every startup what I call the aha moment, right? And it's because a lot of people don't know, when you have a startup, right, it's a lot of hustle, and it's a lot of understanding where you fit in this ecosystem, right? And then it's saying, okay, now we have something. What was that moment for you where you had your aha moment? You're like, this is going to work. This is going to be a great product.
Yeah, of course. So I think it was when we started to see these reports online that zinc oxide is an antiviral agent, and that the fabric we had could be put to good use. And at that particular moment in Israel, there was unemployment, nationally, because a lot of people had lost jobs due to the coronavirus restrictions. And we were able to provide them with alternative work. They could start to make masks, and they could have employment and bring something back. So this was when we started to see sort of an opportunity to provide a service internationally. And particularly in America, we're glad to say that the SonoMask has been well received. And we have a 24-hour support team. They work in the States as well. We have a logistics center set up there. And really, I can show you the mask itself. I know that you have already had the pleasure of one firsthand, but we are updating them all the time. This is our latest model, which is fully adjustable because some people need the extra strappage at the back, and we can also have ear loop models as well, for perhaps some people, like ladies who have to wear shaitul. And so this is the current design. So we're sticking with this. It's simple. It doesn't need, the technology does it all. We don't need to add dyes or pigments. The box is clearly showing you the filtration ability, the antiviral ISOs that we have. ISOs are particular protocols that European labs set to do the tests that we have passed. And the instructions for cleaning are very simple, as I'm sure you're aware from yours. It can just be hand washed or machine washed on the lowest setting, guaranteed to last over a year, and you don't need to even tumble dry. It will dry very quickly, just to let air dry. And it's lightweight and breathable. As you mentioned, this is one of the common issues with people who are purchasing masks online. They don't know where they use it. We are actually on Amazon now, so people can go straight to there and see.
And that's what I love. It's just like you said it, like a minute ago, is that you're constantly innovating, right?
Yeah, so, and actually the children's model as well has come out now. So it's for children from 8 years old, from 4 until 10 years old, and this is for children going back to school at this particular time. There are some parents who want to provide the best protection for their children, and also they think that some children can spread corona and actually be asymptomatic. So if they're wearing a mask, they're not going to be spreading to the adults around them. So this is why this product is existing now. Yes.
Right. One of the other things that I really liked about the mask is when you put it on, it's the ears, right? It's like finding the right, because like I got a mask from Amazon and I put it on and I was like, oh my God, like I just can't, it was too tight over the ears. It was uncomfortable. And the way that
in 20 seconds whether you're going to be able to get on with this product or not. That's really the moment.
Yeah. Right. So that's what I found. I found like once I put it on and the straps on the back, it just like it fit perfectly. It was tight. Especially when you're out. I went to Target the other day with the mask, and I noticed the difference in the air quality that I was breathing when I had it on. So I also I'm sensitive to smells and like all this other thing. I'm also a little crazy for what's happening now in the world. So I noticed like my breathing a little more. And so I noticed the difference in my breathing when I had it on. So how did you, I'm sure that was an important part of the process. How did you figure out that right balance?
Yes, so the mask fabric is actually double layered with the same sonicated zinc properties. So this is providing a double layer of virucidal surface. And the fabric itself meets the 5 micron filtration level, which is required to block the infective droplets which people cough and sneeze. This is how COVID-19 is transmitted between people, according to World Health Organization. So the N95s, they're stipulated really for dust for occupational use. So this is a common misconception that you don't actually benefit from this level of filtration. It's only going to make the mask, unwearable after a fairly short time, and it can increase the risk of other complications if you people are asthmatic, other concerns. So it meets the 5 micron, and we are going to develop different fabrics for different purposes. So we will soon have a fabric which is going to have N99 filtration in the future. We're going to design gloves, because another common problem is gloves are being disposed of after one use. So we are going to expand the personal protective range with this fabric, and with to carry on the goal of the company, which would be to provide a large solution for the textile industry as a whole, because with this process, it's low energy, it's sustainable. There are many applications that can be done, such as UV resistance, anti-odor, electrical conductivity properties, these and low energy dyeing. So in the future, the company will expand upon these.
Amazing. What's your hope, I guess, for the future? Like, what do you want to achieve in the next year?
Yeah, we would love to see everybody wearing the SonoMask, doctors and civilians alike. And we'd love to know that when the pandemic is over, perhaps this particular one, when there was another situation that arose, people would have the equipment that they needed from us to prevent such a serious outbreak happening again. And the protocols would be in place, and SonoMask would be a big part of that, that people can carry on going about their daily lives, and there wouldn't be such an environmental burden as we've seen in this current one, where plastics from gloves and masks have ended up causing pollution in sea levels to rise. And if people were using this type of mask, there would be much less of an environmental burden.
How many masks can you produce in a week?
Yes, so we're really proud that the production here in Israel is expanding all the time. This is a 100% Israeli engineered product, the viewers might like to know. And we can produce around 50,000 of these masks a week. So we are well equipped to deal with large orders. We want to be able to help people get back to work. So we can work with corporations to provide all the employees with their logo on the mask. So they'll be providing a protective surface for them. And as well as that, we will continue to serve internationally and expand, the reach of Sonovia and the SonoMask.
That's great. And where can people learn more about your product?
Absolutely. The best place to go is obviously our website, www.sonoviatech.com. And there's also a link there to our Facebook, where we're regularly producing updates. Yesterday, we met with members of the Israeli Parliament to talk about what the solutions that we're doing. There's some photos and media from that event. And we're doing strategic agreements all the time with ambassadors from all over the world. Kazakhstan ambassadors were here yesterday, and as well as that, we can also, if people are very interested, we can offer the opportunity to see firsthand some of the working facilities. Maybe I will just give you a little show of our technology next door. Okay. So it looks just like any other lab, really, but with a few differences. You have here prototype models of ultrasonic equipment, and this is where the chemists themselves are actually developing the optimized formulation for fabrics, which are going to provide the 99% COVID-19 result for the fabric, which we were all expecting.
Can you bring the camera down a little bit so I can see? I just want to see the.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is using high frequency sound wave application using formulations of zinc, and you can see here we are using fabric samples. We're testing, and this is a small scaled down version of the machinery that we have, which is producing the masks. And there are pilots that are being also performed with automotive industries. So we are looking at doing car flooring and seating with the same process. So these are some of the other initiatives that we are operating with at Sonovia. Yes.
Right. Well,
Okay.
first of all, I want to thank you so much for your time and for your work. It's really critical during this time to have companies that want to step up and make a difference in this world, especially this pandemic has affected so many people. And with having the right tech, and the simplest thing is a mask, right? Like it's one of those things where you can get the right type of equipment in your lifestyle and protect your friends, your family in an effective manner. So thank you again for taking time with speaking with me. And I wish you all luck in the new ventures for the future. And we'll keep in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll be pleased to update you on further developments.
As you can see, Sonovia created these incredible SonoMasks to help get through the pandemic. It's breathable, washable, comfortable, and necessary to ensure that people stay safe during this difficult time. This is Aaron Herman, and thank you for watching.